I want to start off by saying to the trolls that, I'm fed up with the mockery, the insults. Anybody that does that, they cannot have a civil conversation with somebody. I'm not going to put up with it. I'm going to immediately block them, and I'm not going to have any ill thoughts about it. Plain and simple. All right. These two sailboats are kind of the same, but this is more about the power plants. I just wanted to show how the last person in the back of the boat is being distorted by that light. So there is light distortion, obviously, um, and atmospheric distortion too that causes issues. All right, this first part was in infrared, and then I took out some of the saturation, added a little contrast and brightness to it. Got it down to where, there's a little better visibility. Um, but here's the thing. There's the Anclote power plant. Now this is taken from Pine Island. So I'm getting a fairly good shot of the crystal or the Anclote power plant from uh, Pine Island, which is approximately 27 miles away, and Crystal River to the north of me is also 27 miles away. Um, Actually, it's pretty interesting because they're actually southeast and northeast of me. Now, here's another part that I put in, but I kind of cut and edited it. I'm still not used to this camera. And like I say, as I zoom in, it wants to focus in to the closest object. Um, like right there, like wants to, flash in and out of focus. And I've played with all the autofocus in this thing, and this is autofocus, auto assist, and everything. And it just does not want to focus properly for me. And what I think it is on the autofocus is wants to focus in on the closest object, and then it gets confused on which object it wants to focus in on. Um, so that's the only issue that I have with my infrared camera. Um, it is taking some good video when I'm not so zoomed in on it, and it keeps the focus pretty good. But also, once you get light in there and it starts flashing, it kind of makes it go out of focus too. Like right here, you see it kind of going in and out of focus, but you can also see this boat way farther off in the distance. Now I'm going to cut this because the focus just gets all out of whack. And then I just go to this little last portion, and you see how it's going in and out of focus. This is not me. This is camera. Like I say, autofocus just never seems to work well for me. That's why with the P1000, I put it on the movie mode, and it's perfect. This last part, I just wanted to put it back on infrared, show you the sun.
I see power plant. Oh boy, is that power plant magnified. That is magnified city.
So here I just took the coordinates to this island, and then what I want to do is zoom in here to this land east of this island, because I think I'm picking up this point right here. Alright, this is the part where we were north of Pine Island. We were up toward the islands that I hung a life preserver on and then filmed it from Pine Island. But we were up that way in my boat, and here's a little bit of video of the Crystal River power plant and its stacks. And you notice something? They're really way too big. They're really too big. They are being magnified, lensed, and of course you cannot see really much below um, that landline there. But that's another thing too, that possibly this land out there is also being magnified. Um, on top of that, you have the light refracting upward, not downward. The other thing was to show you this other land back over here. And when you compare it to that last video that I put out, I'm showing you that there is land beyond those other islands that I'm always filming. Also, too, you got to think about the angle I'm on. And then here I took a couple pictures when we were at a different angle, and we were closer to one of the secondary islands that I film up there. Here I zoomed in and took a little closer picture. Made sure I got the short stack in there, or the fat stack, and then the other two stacks, and then this other bigger stack, which I think that's actually two stacks, but they're kind of one hiding behind the other. I might be wrong about that, but I think that's what that was. And then when I compare them from these pictures that I took from Pine Island, now on these pictures, I was up on the observation deck, so I'm at a different angle than I was the night that I was shooting from 30 inches and 4 inches. There's not a whole lot of difference in them either. There is, but not a lot. So again, from 30 inches to several more feet up, I'm still getting great pictures. So this isn't an anomaly. This is just, again, about getting good visibility and being able to see objects at a much farther distance than what really we were taught in school as far as scientists. And too, if you go to the websites, they tell you the height of your camera. They tell you, what should be hidden, what ain't hidden. Or actually, what I say is they're telling you what's being hidden, not what's being pulled up over the curve. Look at the website. It's not about pulling something up above the curvature. They're talking about light refraction and what it hides. So when we look at these websites for Earth curve calculators, they're actually describing what we're seeing. When we have a high refraction rate, most of this cannot even be seen. It is gone. Why? Because it's redirecting again. What light refraction does, it redirects our line of sight upward, not downward. That's why when you shine a light off of water, it reflects up. And again, you can go to photography websites and find all this out. Now, again, I'm up on the observation deck, so I decide I'm going to shoot back to the south. And what do you know? I actually pick up the Hernando Beach condos, the tops of them over the top of this island. I was like, wow, I saw this once before, a long time ago. and I never really paid much attention. But also, let me pause it here for a second. I noticed by using my zoom tool on the ones when I was zoomed back further, this weed or grass or trees or whatever it is was blocking out less than what it is blocking out on the zoomed in one. So again, there's some magnification going on.